Wake up, goddammit!
Hey, gang. It is Tuesday night, and I'm coming on, not just for the hell of it, but to try and kind of sort of make up for the debacle that was today's show. We had a huge audio issue today, and now I'm having another one. There we go. We had a huge audio issue today, and I worked on it this afternoon, got it going pretty much by the end of the show, an hour and 40 minutes into it. So didn't have much of a show today. We're not going to do one now. I'm just going to try and convey what I tried to do in that first hour with what I woke up to this morning and what that allowed me to do with our destinations that we stream to, at least with the video, share some updates with audio, social audio, as well as radio. So here's the list. Right now, what we're going to do is a sound check. Wherever you're at, however you're watching or listening, let me know how this sounds. And let me know how it looks. Because one of the things that we were worried about was too much happening here that could be slowing down my CPU. And not just the servers that get us out into the world. While we're talking about that, don't forget to download the ToneTip app. Go to tonetip.com. Download the app. I promise you, we will use it for more, much more than just ad spots. There's so much more that we're going to use and send information to you. I don't really have anything planned for tonight, although I could. I could do one while we're talking. I've done that before. But if you're watching from home and you've got a mobile device that is a camera and you're seeing the QR code on your screen right now, scan that QR code and download the app. If you're watching through your mobile device or for whatever reason can't scan the QR code on your screen, go to tonetip.com, download the app there, and have that app playing in the background the next time you watch or listen to Up the Middle. Which, by the way, floating across the bottom of your screen, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. London, and 11 p.m. Perth, Australia. We are all over the place. Like a bunch of other things you can probably think of. Like a Trump joke, a bad penny, dog shit, whatever. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, with the actual show. But just wanted to remind you to like, share, bookmark. Go to mastiff.media is the website. That is the best website for you to have bookmarked to get the show and the other shows that we're associated with. And by all means, please subscribe if you like what we're doing. If you don't like what we're doing, well, we want to hear about that too. Send us an email, Newz, Newz, Newz with a Z, at yergs.com. Or if you do like what we're doing, you can send us an email as well. So tonight's a sound check due to earlier today's debacle. But one of the things I want to do first is Monday I mentioned the local farmers market that I was at. And I tried to talk about this on the air earlier. Now I'm a little bit better at doing it. This little device here is a smoker. This wooden disc, about 1/4 of an inch thick, with a metal screen in the center of it, is a smoker. And of course, you can see burned onto the disc is our radio tower with www.mastiff.media. What I'm going to do is take this glass of rum, set the smoker on top of the glass. Take my favorite flavor for rum, which would be maple. These are maple wood shavings inside this little container. And I'm just going to take a pinch, like we're putting salt into rice or pasta or something like that. And I'm going to put those wood shavings onto that screen. And what's that do? Well, nothing yet. But then we take our handy dandy little baby blowtorch, pop open the lid, give the thing a flick, and burn those little embers that are on the screen. Now you can see some of that smoke sitting inside the glass. We'll come back to that. My Restream account, which gets video out into the world, allows me to go to 8 destinations. Those destinations are Twitch. That's an important one. We're going to come back and talk about that at length during today's little emergency broadcast. Instagram, which we are back on again today. I'll tell you why in a minute. Facebook ×1. Now, I've got a lot of pages, many of which related to this show or at least to broadcasting, but only one of them is broadcast directly to from this platform. That is my personal Facebook account, for which I have 4,700 followers. That's kind of important. Also, DLive, I have no idea what that really is, other than it's a platform that Restream broadcasts to. So I created an account when I went to Restream, and now I've got a following on DLive. You know our theory here. It's our job to find the listeners or viewers, not the other way around. So now we're about halfway through our 8 destinations. Let's take a little break from that. Let the rest of that smoke out. And oh God, this is going to taste so good. Oh, that's good stuff. More on that smoker later. We'll have information for you. Canton Branch. Scotty from Dare Media said everything is sounding good so far. Scotty, let me know, do you want me to cut the Dare Media feed and let that go back to its regular programming? Just let me, that's fine if we do. I can put a link on the page to the full video if people want to see that later. So let me know if you want me to cut the Dare Media feed. Back to the other 4 destinations. We got Rumble, because as you know, we take a look at politics from both the left and the right. So we're on the progressive platforms. We're also on Rumble and Twitter, YouTube, and Telegram. We are on Twitter, not just Twitter Spaces, but as of today, with the TikTok message that I got this morning, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. I said, okay, it's time to expand destinations. So I paid the $84 for that stupid blue check mark, which now allows me to stream video to my Twitter account. It is Yergs Up Middle. That's the Twitter account, my Up the Middle account. But the actual call letters or the call sign, Twitter limits the number of characters that you can use. So I was limited to what I could squeeze into it. It's Yergs Up Middle. That's the Twitter. The other Twitter, I'm not even sure which one that is. The other Twitter account is which one are you? Which one did I use? At Yerger, my full last name, at Yerger Ross. And you'll see Yergs, Y-E-R-G-Z, as the listed name. That's where Twitter Spaces, just the audio-only platform, that we're now streaming to. So those are the 8 video platforms. I listed Twitch first because it's kind of important. Twitch allows you to leave a link on a website, on a Facebook post, wherever you want to put it. And then as soon as you go live, that link goes live. So if you go to mastiff.media, on the homepage of our website is the Twitch feed. You can go to mastiff.media right now and watch this show. This one, right now, as we're live. When we cut that feed, it stops. It doesn't repeat. It doesn't, it's not in a loop. It just stops. All of my Facebook pages have a post explaining what I just said with the link to Twitch. And they're pinned to the top of the page. So you'll see it automatically when you go to the page. With the exception of my personal Facebook account. That one is going to come live every time that I go live. And cut Radio X and stay on Dare Talk. Okay, let's bring that up. Preferences. Dare Radio X. Cut it and apply. And it's disconnected. All right. So thanks for our folks at Dare Media and the little commercial break we had on Radio X. Back to your regular programming. I guess I probably should have said that before I cut it. But anyway, all of their friends that are listening to Dare Talk Radio, they'll tell them. So the Facebook pages are all connected via the Twitch stream. And again, that's because I only had so many destinations with Restream, Twitch being one of them. But because of the versatility of Twitch, I can use that at other places. So I woke up today, and one of the alerts that I had on TikTok was, hey, congratulations. You can now stream to TikTok. I'm like, well, the way you screwed me back in January, I didn't really want to stream to TikTok because I was one of those who was not qualified to stream to TikTok when TikTok needed a bunch of us to stream to make it look like they were more important than what they really were. So the new Trump administration would save them from being banned in the United States. When that happened and they didn't need us anymore, those of us who had still not grown enough, a big enough audience on TikTok got cut. Well, there is a demographic on TikTok that we're trying to reach. And so, you know what? I'm going to put my ego aside and I'm going to reach out to these people on TikTok and let them know we're here. So we are now on TikTok. At the same time is when I said, okay, it's time to make the move on Twitter. It'll be almost a year. It's about 8 months since I've last had that blue check mark on one of my Twitter accounts. It was my Talk TV 24 account was the last one to have it. When that expired this past fall, I kind of looked at my opinion of Elon Musk, which was not very favorable, and said, okay, I don't think I'm going to renew that. Well, again, putting the ego aside and realizing there are people everywhere that I'm trying to reach, those on Twitter, X, whatever it's called this week, are some of them. We are still on Twitter Spaces. That's with my Yerger Ross account, Yergs. And Yergs Up Middle, or the Up the Middle show and podcast account, is the one that's getting the video. Then there is our friends, as you just heard, from down under, the Dare Media Group we partner with. And my show during the regular day is on, I think, all or at least most of their 5 stations. It's definitely on Radio X and their new station, Dare, I got to get this right, Dare Talk Radio. Dare, by the way, is an acronym which stands for Daring Australia Radio Entertainment, or Australian Radio Entertainment. That's them. That is not me. That is our friends in Australia. Mastiff Media, however, as you know, has partnered with them. And because of their interest in the series of movies, The Matrix, some of their servers on their own internal IT are named after characters from The Matrix. My Mastiff, one of my Mastiffs, is named after The Matrix. His name is Matrix. So Matrix Media is the joint venture between Dare Media and Mastiff Media. We are on all Mastiff Media network stations and social media accounts. I just went through all the social media accounts, and the 5 stations that are up and running on some level with Mastiff Media. Yergs Radio, which offers positive talk in a negative world. Right Talk Radio is for conservatives in their right mind. Forward radio is for progressives. Progressive, forward, progress. Rainbow radio is for the LGBT community. And Mastiff Sports Radio is our new sports station. We don't have a lot of programming for that yet, so I put on my show to keep the chairs warm. And coming soon, a news station. Not new. Well, it will be new too, at least for a little while. A Newz, and remember we spell that Newz, will be station number 6. Both the sports and the news station will have multiple spin-offs. The sports either by region and or the sport itself, most of which will be offering play-by-play for various levels of sports, from Little League up to various minor league baseball teams that we are in discussions with right now. The news stations will be breaking off most likely by market. So the first station will stay probably somewhat national, but also being the first one, it'll likely also be for the Tampa Bay Nature Coast area where we're at. That being said, we can very easily spin off other stations to include for our friends at Dare Media, for Sportcat, who is now in Knoxville, I think, but will be soon back in Atlanta. Wherever we can have a manager of some sort taking care of the AI and the news feeds that we get and creating that station. So, I think that's everything. 26 minutes of me rambling. Wow. But that's it. I know this is kind of late and unscheduled, so the fact that I've got anybody watching is a pleasant surprise. We'll leave this up on YouTube. We'll share the links from YouTube throughout Facebook, or share the one from my account as well. Don't forget, bookmark mastiff.media. And I say that because this current administration, this current regime, is not friendly towards remotely truthful journalism. And so the conversation I had today with ReliaStream, that is my radio streaming service provider, has confirmed that the servers that I'm using, as well as the office that they would contact to shut down my servers, none of which are in the United States, and none are obligated to do anything with a government they don't like too much. So there's that. Same thing with the server that hosts the Mastiff.media website, also not in the United States. All of this is by design. We're seeing people like David Pakman, Brian Tyler Cohen, CBS, ABC, all of whom have been targeted and essentially extorted, or attempts to be extorted, into changing their attitude towards this administration. Some have paid millions of dollars. In the event they try that with me, it's not going to work. So please bookmark what you see on your screen, or you did. I'll put it back up. Bookmark mastiff.media and keep that handy. Hey, Hugo. Thanks for watching. Hugo over on Instagram. Let's check back in with the other TikTok. So, I can switch that if I know how, which I don't. There we go. Chrome. That is. That one, I think. There it is. Good. So there's the screen. For those of you on TikTok, there is the screen of me, what the rest of the world sees. TikTok, because it's not one of the 8 destinations, it's another one. It's a separate studio. It's a separate configuration. All right, gang, you know what? I think that's everything. Oh, also, shout out to those joining on Discord. Thanks, everybody, for your help in getting set back up with good audio, quality audio. I'm going to go back and try and find all these and listen to them and spend, let's see, how long was I doing this? 30 minutes? Probably another 2 hours listening to myself, because that's going to be entertaining. Don't forget, back tomorrow. If you don't remember what programs or what platforms we're on, just go to mastiff.media, www.mastiff.media. The video will be right there on the homepage. But as soon as I'm done here, while I'm listening to this past half hour, I'm going to be creating a tab on there for all of the social media that I just talked about and a link to it so that you can get up the middle all 5 days a week on whatever platform you prefer. All right, one more shout out to our friends at Canton Branch. There's the burned business card that he created. I don't know if you can really tell. Should be focusing. No. It looks a lot better than what it's looking like on the video. But his business card, which he does not make for other people because there's too much work goes into this, and it costs too much to make 20 or 30 cards. But Canton Branch is also who made this smoker and a bunch of other products. So they don't have a website. That's going to change because I'm going to help them sell. But their Instagram is Canton, as in like Canton, Ohio, Canton branch. That's their Instagram. And you can email them at cantonbranch@yahoo.com. That's the 2 easiest ways to get them. Or hang tight. I see him coming to mastiff.media. All right, gang, that's it. Now I'm rambling. We'll give the remaining station from Dare Media back to them, as well as everything else back to its regular scheduled programming. Speaking of which, I will see you tomorrow in just under 12 hours. Have a great evening. Thanks for getting off the porch and running with the big dogs. This has been an update on today's audio debacle. We'll see you tomorrow. Again with not having video? There we go.